Faith Time is our weekly conversation on matters of faith, and joining us this morning is Jeff Gardner with Daphne Baptist Church. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good to be here, Chad.
We're talking about Southern Baptist Disaster Relief. You are a member of that organization. You worked during Hurricane Sally in this area. How do you get others involved in that sort of work, disaster relief?
That is a wonderful question. A lot of it is word of mouth. We have in our churches, a lot of pastors, different ones are involved in SBDR, and so we promote it in our church from our pulpits and things. But we also have people that work with our state convention that help with that. One of the greatest tools that we have for people to get involved is to look at the SBDR.org website. There you can find information about how you can pray. You can find stories of testimonies of what people have done, and also you can find ways to volunteer and find out about training for that. That's a really important part of it, because all of our volunteers are not just trained. The yellow shirt's not what makes you a Southern Baptist Disaster Relief volunteer. It's the credentials that you have to have for that. And every volunteer is credentialed, and that's what you need to look for when somebody shows up at your house.
We're talking more broadly about the issue of natural disasters. Sometimes some cultures view natural disasters as a sign that God is upset with us. How do you feel about viewing disasters through that lens?
I think we need to remember that they are natural disasters, and they just naturally occur. And so it's not necessarily that God is angry with somebody, because I have seen people that were some of the most godly people that I've ever met, and yet they had a tree on their house, or they had some other problem, flooding or something of that nature. And so it's not that God is singling somebody out because of the way they've lived or anything like that. You know, Jesus talked about in the Gospels there, he said, some people asked him one time about people and being sinful and things, and he said, well, do you think those people that the Tower of Siloam in Jerusalem fell on were any more unrighteous than other people living in Jerusalem? And he said, no, but unless you repent, you'll all likewise perish. I think what we have to remember is that, you know, we all deserve death and disaster and disease and all those things, but Christ has made a way for us, and that's the message that we're really communicating through disaster relief.
A great message on this Sunday morning. This segment and others are available at WKRG.com.